saving 10 plus hours a week using AI? We'll see about that. In this video, I'll review Ali Abdaal's video about how AI saves him 10 hours and see if it's really true. I'll also be giving you guys tips, what I think he's saying right, what I think he's saying wrong throughout the video. So let's get right in.
Hey friends, welcome to the very first episode of Everyday AI, a new series where I'm documenting how I'm experimenting personally with various AI tools to boost my productivity, achieve my goals, and just generally make life a little bit easier. In this video, I'm going to do a general rundown of how I am personally using AI every day to save at least like 10 plus hours. And I'm going to
We'll see about that.
Already an expert in using AI and you already know how to do the fancy stuff and you're already deep in the AI rabbit hole, I don't think this video is going to be particularly helpful for you. But if you're a relative beginner to the AI stuff and you are not using AI absolutely every hour of every day in your job, I'm hoping that something in this video might spark an idea that helps you refine your own approach to AI. Final thing to
Okay, so I like how he's kind of mentioning like this is for beginners, because obviously if you're advanced, like you can get to this level of 10 plus hours a week. So if you guys are beginners, this video is definitely for you.
To say before we dive in is that my life as an entrepreneur and writer and YouTuber may not mirror yours exactly, but the ways that I've always found most helpful when learning any kind of tools, but in particular AI tools, is what I call cross-context learning. Basically just looking over the shoulder of someone else who's in a different industry and seeing how they use AI and then being able to apply it to my own context. And so I'm hoping that by showing you exactly what my process looks like, you'll be able to cross-context apply the stuff into your own work and your own life. Use case number one.
Yeah, that is very true. Like if you're, like obviously he's gonna be doing a lot more writing than maybe you are at your job, but this is a good piece of advice because AI can go through all contexts. You can use it for very similar reasons.
How I use AI to augment my writing every day. All right, so there's a couple of AI tools that I string together whenever I need to write anything. So in my case, I need to write my email newsletter, I need to write internal memos for the team. All of my YouTube videos are downstream of writing. All of our social media posts are downstream of writing. Now, broadly, I have a 3-step process for writing anything. Step 1 is that I speak into an app called VoicePal that I have built with my team. Secondly, the stuff from VoicePal then goes into either ChatGPT or Claude by Anthropic. And then phase 3 is that it usually goes from ChatGPT or Claude straight into Notion, where I make any final edits that I need to do before.
Okay, yeah, this looks like a pretty good workflow. So he kind of has VoicePal for the brainstorming. Then ChatGPT and Claude were fine through using AI, but then Notion, that he kind of does his own human touch on it.
The thing is able to be sent. So today I need to write my email newsletter, and this is the process that I'm going through. I start off by opening VoicePal, and as you can see, I've been using VoicePal for a very long time, since the 9th of December 2023 when we first started building the app. Now at this point I can hit record or I can hit type. Type is what I would do if I just want to capture a thought to come back to later, but in this context I'm going to hit record. Okay, so I want to do my email newsletter this week about a technique that I've recently been thinking about for beating procrastination. And that technique is to go through the motions. In the context of filming YouTube videos, I procrastinate a lot from hitting the record button for filming YouTube videos because there's all these like emotional and cognitive barriers that get in the way around like, oh, is this video going to be found valuable, is it good enough, etc. But I found that going through the motions, i.e. just like doing my hair and putting on my hoodie and getting the camera angle sorted, essentially sort of the next step of getting started with the task way easier. So it's like a very slow on-ramp. All right, so that was phase 1. I start off by rambling whatever I've got off the top of my head into the thing.
Yeah, see, this is the good things about AI. Notice how he used like VoicePal. I've used it before. It's a great tool. It'll immediately get rid of all of that. So I like how he's kind of example, like he's using his own voice, and that's really what you want to do with these like brainstorming tools is use your own tone, and don't be afraid if you make a couple mistakes because the AI will refine that. So.
Normally, I don't actually do this sitting on my desk. Normally, I will put in my AirPods, go for a walk, and then like do the stuff then, and that tends to be how I create the bulk of my content through like emails and stuff. Okay, fantastic. So now we have created a stream out of these 4 thoughts. If I wanted to, I could now press the export button and I could create a draft of life notes. So let's see what this looks like straight up. This is actually using Claude 3.5 behind the scenes to do the writing.
Okay, that's good that he uses Claude for his app, because Claude's generally a lot better at writing than ChatGPT and more creative writing.
I don't like this either. Okay, so generally, if I don't like the output, what I will do is I will hit copy to clipboard, and now I can go on Claude, which is my favorite app for writing stuff. I have created a project for, where is it, for Life Notes. And then I can go in Claude and say, let's turn this into an issue of Life Notes, and let's see what Claude does. Yeah. No, don't like it. It's really over indexing on like one format of newsletter that I once wrote. Okay, go away. Don't really like it. All right, let's try ChatGPT. I have a Life Notes project in ChatGPT. Boom. You know what? Actually, this is pretty good. So what I find useful is I almost always use both Claude and ChatGPT and give them basically the same prompt. Claude I have found to be, for the most part, 80% of the time, just better at writing. But the nice thing about ChatGPT is that ChatGPT has the memory function, so it actually knows a lot more about me than Claude does. And so maybe like 20% of the time, ChatGPT will just give me a better first draft compared to the thing that I've created with Claude. Cool.
Yeah, so that he's very right about this. I love how he's trying to use both tools and like kind of testing, see which one's better. But ChatGPT does have that memory, which in the long run will probably fare you better, but Claude obviously is the better at writing, creative writing, something like a newsletter, which he has an example of. But in this case, I guess ChatGPT won.
So what I will do, I feel like this is good enough for a first draft. I'm now just going to open up Notion, paste it into Notion. So now I've got the thing, and now I'm going to do my own edits on this because, for example, I don't really want the subheadings. There is one other thing I often try, which is that with VoicePal, what I can do is I can go into each stream and I can show the original transcript. So this has all of the ums and ahs and all of that kind of stuff. But then I can copy that stuff into, for example, Claude. You know, actually, this is good. This is pretty good. Let's just bang out the same thing in ChatGPT and just see which one is better. So I'm gonna create a new one within this project. Boom. This is also good. I like this. I prefer it compared to this one. Boom. I don't like simple but powerful. It's a bit too. Yeah. So. Okay, so this is actually not bad now. This is what the process looks like most of the time. So we're starting off with the transcript and stuff from VoicePal, either exporting a draft straight into Notion from VoicePal, although usually I tend to use ChatGPT or Claude as like an interim to be able to sort of like have a bit of a conversation with it back and forth. And then you can see when it goes into Notion, there's actually quite a few edits that I've made to the whole thing. One mistake I've often seen people make with AI tools is that they sort of think that the output is just going to be amazing straight up. But you saw like in this example, I did like 4 or 5 different outputs, a few with Claude, a few with Claude Project, a few with ChatGPT, ChatGPT Project, even VoicePal directly. And for all of them, I was like, like it's fine, but it's not perfect. And sort of by doing these outputs a few different times, you come to one that's like 80% good, and then I shove it into Notion or whatever text editor of choice, and then I go through and make the edits. And it's just this back and forth process. I've seen a lot of people think that like, oh my God, AI can just help me with my writing, and they expect the process to take 5 seconds. It usually doesn't take 5 seconds. Previously, writing my newsletter would take me about 2 hours because I'd be typing everything up. Now it takes more like half an hour because I start off by speaking, and then like with VoicePal, like throughout the week, I can just sort of send in thoughts, and then usually by the time I get to writing my newsletter, I've got at least some thoughts of stuff that I was capturing throughout the week, and then it becomes a lot easier to make it happen. Oh, by the way, if you are enjoying...
Yeah, this is very true. Remember, AI isn't like for completely just doing start to finish, but it can help you save these little bit amounts of time through the way. Like the first output you get from ChatGPT or Claude, it's not going to be the best one. You kind of have to refine, test which one really resonates with you the most and matches your tone. But once you have that, then you still have to do like editing. Like, you notice how he like took out simple but powerful. Like the AI will throw in these little cheesy phrases, but you really have to make sure that that's not gonna be in your writing, because in the end, this is your writing. You're just using AI tools to help smooth out the process and save time in the long run.
So another major use case that we use AI for is for any sort of data analysis. So anytime there is a CSV, or yeah, any kind of spreadsheet, I'm like, glorious, I can just give it to ChatGPT and or Claude and get it to analyze it. So for example, I can go into advanced mode for our YouTube analytics, look at the last 365 days of content, and I can download a CSV file. Great. I'm just gonna grab this, where is it, table data, shove it into Claude and say, this is analytics data from my YouTube channel. I want you to analyze it and based on the data, suggest the next 10 videos I could make if I wanted to maximize views and subscriber growth. Let's see what it comes up with. So we've got the science of habit formation, evidence-based strategies that actually work. Okay. 7 high income skills that will be valuable in 2026. Okay, or probably 25. How to build wealth in your 20s, a step-by-step guide. Oh, that's good. That will do well. The psychology of focus, how to 10x your concentration. Oh, that's a good title. Student side hustles that actually make money in 2025 with proof. Okay, how to learn a new skill faster. The science of learning. Video. 5 common money mistakes students make and how to avoid them. Yeah, easy. Evidence-based time management. Yeah, nice. How to turn your skills into successful business. The science of motivation. Why most people fail to reach goals. Actually, these are all pretty good. Your top 4 videos average around 35 minutes. Wow. Aim for 30-40 minute videos. Fair enough. Okay, here's a prompt that I quite like. You've given me a level 1 response. I want you to go deeper and give me a level 2 and 3 response.
Oh, okay. This is good stuff. This is like pretty advanced prompt engineering, actually. It's called the leveling technique, where you say, that is a level 1, now give me beyond this. It only really works to level 2 and 3. Like, you can't really go above that, but it'll start to give you more deeper responses instead of just like these surface, like basic ideas. So let's see what it gives Ali.
That's always a little fun thing to try with pretty much any prompt. Okay, interesting. Level 3, micro optimization. Oh, title structure matrix. This is interesting. Oh, that's a nice video. How to make your first $100,000 in 2025. 5 skills that'll make you rich in 2025. The science of success. How to build a 6-figure side hustle. Yep, that's nice. Evidence-based study method. Actually, yep, that's nice. How to build wealth while studying. Yep, that's nice. Based, we've already done that. So a couple of weeks ago, me and my wife went to Taiwan for our like baby moon, which is apparently the final holiday you go on before you have a baby, because we've got a baby coming in a few months. And so while we were in Taiwan, I was actually using Claude as my personal tour guide. So this was kind of how it went. I am currently in this big square in Taipei in Taiwan, and there's these 2 identical looking, absolutely enormous buildings on either side of the square. Where am I, and what can you tell me about it? It sounds like you're at Liberty Square, formerly known as Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Square. Yep, that was it. The National Theatre, National Concert Hall. Nice. Oh, that's interesting. Help me.
Yeah, so you can see this is like you can really get some cool things out of these AI. Like, look at that. There goes the tour guide. You don't really need a tour guide. You could got Claude in your pocket. Just ask it where you are, interesting facts. It's really better than a tour guide if you think about it. It knows everything there is.
Understand the whole like semiconductor thing. Like, how did Taiwan become like the home of semiconductors? Oh, that's a fascinating story that combines.
It knows everything. Like, if you asked a tour guide, maybe it knew about the buildings, but it didn't know about the semiconductor facts behind Taiwan. That's why AI, you can ask it literally anything and it'll give you a good response. So, like, for tour guide, this is an amazing use case. This will definitely save you a lot of time and money when you're traveling to new places.
Combines strategic planning, education, and timing. Here's how Taiwan became the semiconductor powerhouse. The story begins in the 1970s. Why is creating semiconductors so difficult? And how on earth can it be the case that this single company controls 90% of the supply of semiconductors? That seems utterly bizarre, considering how important semiconductors are in the world. Now, ChatGPT also does work as a tour guide, and I do use it for a lot of stuff, but to use ChatGPT as a tour guide, I am currently in Kowloon in Hong Kong. I want you to tell me some interesting things about Kowloon Station. So you hit the tick button, and then you have to press the send button, and so it takes 2 clicks to be able to speak to it, rather than 1 click. So that was 2 clicks, right? So it transcribes first, and then you press the button. Whereas with Claude, you press the transcription button and it does it straight away. So just that elimination of friction is why I prefer Claude rather than ChatGPT when I'm doing like this sort of casual search engineering, like tour guiding as I'm going around. ChatGPT does have its sort of real-time feedback thing, but I don't really like it because it talks too slowly. Hey, ChatGPT, I'm currently thinking of cooking something special for my wife for Valentine's Day. She really likes sushi, but she's currently pregnant, so she's not allowed to eat like raw fish. Can you help me come up with some variants of sushi?
That's a lovely idea. Since Izzy loves sushi, but can't have raw fish while pregnant, you can make pregnancy-safe sushi with cooked ingredients, veggies, and creative flavors. Here are some great options. Cooked and safe seafood sushi, shrimp tempura.
It's not bad. It just speaks a little bit too slowly. So I generally prefer to interact with these different tools, well, where I speak to them and then they give me the response in text, and then we just kind of go back and forth. But purely because of that slight extra friction of like the double click on ChatGPT, that's why I prefer to use Claude. There's also complexity that I've been experimenting with for like search engineering-y type stuff. But you know, these are some of the ways that I use AI to save lots of time in my work and my life.
Yeah, so I like how we kind of talked about friction, right? That's going to stop us from using certain tools. And that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, please make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Also, I do free AI consulting, so if you'd like to go more in depth in any of these tools or see how these tools can help you in your specific business, that link is in the YouTube bio. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one.